The 2024 Paris Summer Olympics wanted to make a big splash on the world stage, and one way or another, they got exactly what they wanted. The opening ceremony for the Games was broadcast on Friday, July 26th. Breaking from tradition, the ceremony didn't take place inside of a stadium, but rather all across Paris, with the broadcast pairing live footage with pre-taped segments across 12 distinct chapters. The extravaganza took place under heavy rain and tight security in the French capital as delegations from each participating country floated down the Seine. It included performances from Celine Dion, Lady Gaga, and the metal band Gojira, who made history as the first metal band to perform at an Olympics opening ceremony. But amidst all of the bombast, there was also controversy. One obvious blunder involved French and English announcers for the program introducing the South Korean delegation as being from North Korea, an extremely important distinction for two nations that have technically been at war for more than 70 years. There were also other controversies rooted in French cultural clashes. In the lead-up to the Olympics, a long-standing hijab ban in sports for French citizens gained international attention. Additionally, right-wing politicians and segments of French society criticized the inclusion of Mali-born French singer Aya Nakamura as a part of the opening ceremony. But no aspect of the ceremony gained more international attention than the festivité segment. This portion of the ceremony centered on a runway walk, evoking the storied history of fashion shows and haute couture in France. Arranged along the runway were a number of brightly dressed revelers, including drag performers, some of whom were made famous on the reality show Drag Race France. At another point during the ceremony, cameras showed French performer Philippe Catherine laying on the runway amid a colorful bouquet, nearly naked and painted completely blue. The moment caused a big reaction. Where the opening ceremony organizers saw festivity, some commentators saw perversion.
Where did they get the imbeciles that came up with this desecration?
Artistic director of the Olympic opening ceremony, Thomas Jolly, described the scene as a pagan feast by the gods of Olympus, with Catherine specifically made up as the Greek god Dionysus, essentially the god of drinking wine and partying. Despite the intention, several commentators, including the Catholic Church in France, interpreted the scene as a mockery of Christianity. Specifically, critics perceived the display as being a parody of Leonardo da Vinci's famous painting The Last Supper, which depicted Jesus and his disciples sharing a final meal on the eve of his crucifixion. The widely misinterpreted moment, which was shared around the world, sparked a wave of criticism, to which Jolly responded. The day after the ceremony, Jolly appeared on BFM TV and denied that he was inspired by The Last Supper. He also emphasized that he didn't intend to cause offense, saying, "You will never find in me nor in my work any desire for mockery or to denigrate anyone." According to the artistic director, the themes of the ceremony were meant to be ones of liberation and unity. He said in an IOC press conference, "The idea was not at all to be subversive. The idea was to send a message of love and of inclusion. Enough with divisions. We've had enough." Despite those comments, it's hard to argue that the organizers wanted to avoid stirring up at least a little controversy. After all, another notable moment from the ceremony revolved around a stylized recreation of the beheading of Marie Antoinette, scored to the blast beats of Gojira. That's not quite blasphemous, but it's at least a little cheeky. Philippe Catherine, who portrayed Dionysus in the controversial festivité segment, seemed amused by the controversy. He said in an interview on BFM TV, "If there was no controversy, it wouldn't be funny. If everyone agreed with the same opinion, what a bore." Regardless of the intentions, backlash to the misunderstood moment was widespread enough to warrant an official apology. On July 28th, the Paris 2024 Organizing Committee made an official statement apologizing for certain scenes that may have unintentionally offended viewers, an apology which many on social media refused to accept. With the Games now underway, it's clear that the 2024 Summer Games are already an Olympics to remember. Now we just wonder what kind of grand finale they'll have in store for the closing ceremony.